4,500 years ago, without a single machine, human hands built what would become the greatest wonder of the ancient world.
2.3 million blocks of stone. No cranes, no bulldozers.
Every surface carved and shaped by hand tools made of copper and stone. Precision tighter than a human hair, achieved without modern measuring instruments. This is the story of how humans, armed only with determination and simple tools, built the impossible. Let's go back to where it all began, the quarries. 15 kilometers from Giza, workers harvested the finest white limestone from Tura, all by hand. Ancient quarrymen could identify premium stone just by touch, a skill developed over generations. First, they marked their cuts with red ochre paint, planning each block with mathematical precision. Using copper chisels, soft by modern standards, they hammered relentlessly along the marked lines.
Then came an ingenious trick. Wooden wedges, placed in the grooves.
Soaked with water, the wedges would expand slowly, with unstoppable force. Over hours, nature itself became their tool, splitting the stone without explosives or machinery. Each block, averaging 2.5 tons, freed by human patience and ancient engineering. Quality inspectors checked every surface, rejecting imperfect blocks that wouldn't meet their standards.
With simple wooden straight edges, they achieved flatness that would impress modern engineers.
The finishing work began right here in the quarry, human hands refining raw stone.
Block after block, all extracted by human labor. No machines, no shortcuts. Closer to the pyramid site, another quarry produced 2.3 million core blocks, the pyramid's inner mass. These didn't need the same perfection. Speed mattered here, but still, every block was cut by hand. Teams worked in synchronized rhythm, 340 blocks per day, every single day for 20 years. The same copper tools, the same ancient techniques, human persistence turning bedrock into building blocks. Understanding leverage and physics, they multiplied human strength through simple wooden tools. Another block freed, another small victory in humanity's greatest building project. Year after year, workers carved into the earth, transforming landscape into monument, all by human hand.
Even the debris served a purpose, later used to build the construction ramps.
Quick inspections ensured structural integrity because even hidden blocks had to bear enormous weight.
Thousands of tons, ready for the journey. Every ounce moved by human muscle.
But the greatest challenge lay 800 kilometers south, the granite quarries of Aswan. Red granite, twice as hard as limestone, destined for the pyramid's most sacred chambers.
Copper tools couldn't cut it, so the ancient engineers had to think differently. For the king's chamber ceiling, beams weighing 70 tons each, only the most skilled workers were chosen.
Their solution? Dolerite, a stone harder than granite itself, wielded as a hammer by human hands.
Hour after hour, day after day, the groove deepening millimeter by millimeter through sheer persistence.
Working in rhythm, they became a human machine, coordinated, relentless, unstoppable.
What machines would do in minutes took humans days. But they had something machines lack: determination.
Once again, wooden wedges, the same ancient trick that worked on limestone. Water and wood, simple elements harnessed by human ingenuity to conquer stone. Through the night, as workers slept, nature did the heavy work, expanding, pressuring, fracturing.
By dawn, success. 70 tons of granite, freed without a single machine.
But freeing it was only the beginning. Now came the true test of precision.
0.5 millimeter tolerance, achieved 4,500 years ago with wooden tools and human eyes.
Polished by hand until it could reflect the pharaoh's face. Perfection forged by human dedication.
Now the real challenge, transporting these titans across 800 kilometers, all by human power.
The ancient Egyptians didn't fight nature, they partnered with it. The annual Nile flood brought water to the quarry's edge. Cedar barges, built by hand, each capable of carrying 30 to 40 blocks.
It took 50 workers to move a single 2.5-ton block onto its sledge. Pure human coordination.
Every rope woven by hand, every knot tested by human hands. Failure meant disaster. In perfect rhythm, they pulled as one, 50 hearts beating, 50 backs straining, moving mountains one block at a time. The most dangerous moment, transferring the block from land to barge, controlled entirely by human muscle and nerve. Inch by careful inch, too fast means catastrophe, too slow exhausts the workers. Human judgment made the difference.
Even without modern engineering degrees, they understood displacement and balance perfectly.
Each block secured by human hands, one loose cargo could sink the entire barge.
From sunrise to sunset, one barge loaded 87.5 tons of stone, all positioned by human labor.
Barges moved north with the current, nature providing the power, humans providing the guidance. Floating fortunes of stone, guided by human navigators who knew every current, every sandbar.
For 4,500 years ago, this was humanity's most ambitious logistics operation. No GPS,
Every rope checked and rechecked by human hands throughout the journey. Constant vigilance.
Night fell, and even the great project rested. Humans needed sleep, even in service of pharaohs.
They even dug canals by hand, reshaping the landscape itself to serve their vision.
The Nile journey complete, now came the final haul, across sand and rock to the pyramid itself. Wet sand, a discovery that reduced friction by 50%. Human experimentation led to this breakthrough.
science without textbooks, learned through trial, error, and generations of human observation.
50 humans transformed into a single pulling force. Unity born of necessity. Feel their grip tighten. Ordinary people doing extraordinary things. One pull, together, the moment where human willpower overcomes physics. It moves. 2.5 tons yielding to human force. No engines, no hydraulics, just people.
Step by step, the pyramid draws closer, built by the very people walking toward it now.
Every footprint in the sand represents human determination. Fleeting marks left by history's greatest builders.
Their monument rises before them, proof that humans can achieve anything with enough will.
340 blocks per day, a human supply chain that would impress modern logistics experts. 20 years of footsteps carved highways in the sand, infrastructure built by repetition and human traffic alone. A simple clapper kept everyone in rhythm, human ingenuity turning chaos into coordination. Behold, the construction ramp, built by hand from limestone debris, spiraling skyward. Teams working at every level simultaneously, human organization rivaling any modern construction site.
Even the ramp was a masterpiece, firm enough to support tons of stone, all packed by human hands and feet.
Now the true test begins, placing 2.3 million blocks with precision, all by human hand and eye. Each block hauled up the ramp by human teams. No forklifts, no cranes, just muscle and rope.
Surveyors checked every angle with tools they carved themselves, human precision guiding every placement. The mark is made, human eyes determining the exact spot where this block will rest for 4,500 years. Together, on the count, human voices coordinating 2.5 tons of stone. Archimedes would later say, "Give me a lever and I'll move the world." But these workers already knew the secret. Rising, lifted by human understanding of leverage and force. Rising, lifted by human understanding of leverage and force. Inch by inch, controlled entirely by human judgment. Too far means starting over.
Watch this moment. 2 blocks meeting with a gap smaller than human error should allow.
Tighter than a knife blade, achieved without lasers, without levels, just human skill passed down through generations. Final adjustments made by human hands, a tap here, a shift there, perfection through patient effort. One last tap, and it's done. This block will not move for 4,500 years, placed perfectly by human hands. The surveyor checks, human eyes verifying what human hands created. Approved. 1 block down, only 2,299,999 to go. Row after row, year after year, human persistence, building the impossible.
7 years in, a generation of workers have given their strength to this monument.
At every level, teams work in harmony, human coordination creating organized progress from apparent chaos.
Follow them up. Feel the strain, the altitude, the burn in muscles. This is how humans reach the sky.
Like clockwork, but driven by human hearts. Up with stone, down empty, repeat. For 20 years.
Their level, water in a stone channel. Simple, brilliant, and accurate to fractions of a degree.
A weighted string. Gravity itself becomes their measuring tool. Understood perfectly by human minds. Perfect right angles, achieved with tools they forged themselves from copper they mined by hand.
The slope must be exact, 51.84 degrees, verified by human-made instruments.
While building upward, workers simultaneously carved inward, creating chambers without modern drilling equipment. The Grand Gallery, 47 meters of architectural genius, built by human hands in near darkness. Each layer placed carefully, corbelled inward, human understanding of weight distribution and stress. Precise overhang calculated by human minds. One mistake and the entire ceiling collapses. Even hidden in darkness, they added beauty, human pride and craftsmanship that no one might ever see. Wooden scaffolding built by hand, held by ropes, humans working in the pyramid's belly by torchlight. Deeper still, to the king's chamber, where the greatest challenge awaited. Red granite from Aswan dragged 800 kilometers by human power, now raised into place inside the pyramid.
70 tons suspended by ropes, held aloft by human strength and nerves of steel.
Every worker's life depends on every other worker's focus. Human trust at its most extreme.
Inch by precious inch, human hands controlling 70 tons with nothing but rope and courage.
The moment of truth, millimeters of tolerance, controlled entirely by human judgment.
perfect. 70 tons placed with precision that still amazes engineers today. All by human hands.
Year 17, the core complete, but the pyramid still rough. Now begins the transformation that will make it shine.
115,000 casing stones of finest white limestone, each one transported and hauled by human hands.
Feel this, polished smooth before installation, by workers using sand and stone. No power tools, just human patience. They work from top to bottom. Gravity helps lower the stones. Human ingenuity guides them into place. Each casing stone positioned by teams working hundreds of feet in the air, held only by ropes and human courage.
A backing stone first, creating the perfect bed for the visible casing, all calculated by human minds.
Cut at exactly 51.84 degrees, matched to the pyramid's slope by workers using hand tools and their eyes. Mortar mixed by hand, applied with precision, thin as paper to maintain the tight joints.
Leveraged into position, humans moving 2.5-ton stones with wood and geometry.
Perfect pressure, just enough to squeeze out excess, not so much to damage the stone. Human feel, not hydraulics. Every excess scraped away by hand, leaving joints so tight you can't slide a blade between them. Smoothing the surface, human arms wearing down stone until it's perfectly even with its neighbors. 0.5 millimeter, achieved without calipers or micrometers, just human eyes and experienced hands. Row after row, the transformation spreads, human effort turning rough stone into a mirror. Watch the pyramid emerge, from rough to refined, all through human labor.
But installation isn't enough. Now comes the final polish, all done by hand.
Silica sand and water, an abrasive mixed by human hands, applied with human judgment. Circular motions, hour after hour, human endurance transforming stone into mirror. Watch it transform, rougher, smoother, smoother still, all through the patience of human hands. The water test, revealing the mirror shine, achieved entirely through human effort. Perfect smoothness, verified by the same human touch that created it. Teams working in rhythm, human coordination creating uniform perfection across the entire surface. The final transformation, from stone to mirror, all achieved by human hands over 3 years of polishing.
Year 20, the final piece. The Pyramidion, possibly gold-plated.
Carved and polished by master craftsmen, the crowning achievement for history's greatest construction project. Feel its surface, polished to perfection by human hands, destined to catch the sun's first and last rays. Hundreds of workers unite for this final lift, human strength and coordination facing their ultimate test. Rising toward the sky, pulled by ropes woven by hand, controlled by workers who've trained their entire lives for this moment.
Watch it rise, humanity's crowning achievement, literally reaching for the heavens.
It settles into place, the final stone, positioned by human hands to complete perfection.
The ropes release. It's done. 20 years, 100,000 workers.
Now, the temporary structures come down, revealing what human hands have built to last forever. Behold, the Great Pyramid, complete, built entirely by human hands over 20 years. 4 faces, perfectly aligned to the cardinal directions. Error of just 0.04.
147 meters tall, 230 meters wide.
Built by people no different from us.
Polished by human hands to reflect sunlight, visible for miles, a testament to human capability. Joints tighter than human hair, craftsmanship that still amazes engineers 4,500 years later. Its shadow stretches across the land, a monument to what humans can achieve when we work together. Mirror smooth, every surface polished by human hands using sand and stone. The greatest of three, all built by humans, without a single machine. Perfect corners, achieved through human understanding of geometry and meticulous human execution. Modern instruments confirm what ancient humans achieved, 15 millimeters variance across 230 meters. A line to true north, human astronomers calculating position using only stars and shadows. Can you see the joint? Neither can modern engineers, achieved by humans 4,500 years ago. Step inside, every passage carved by human hands, every chamber lifted into place by human strength. Walking paths carved by workers 4,500 years ago, human effort creating spaces meant to last forever. The Grand Gallery, architectural genius achieved without computers, without modern tools. The King's Chamber, 19 granite beams, each 70 tons, all raised and positioned by human hands. Even this sarcophagus, carved from solid granite, using copper tools and human patience. 4,500 years later, it still stands, a monument to human capability. The same stars the ancient builders navigated by, human eyes reading the cosmos to align their creation. Surrounded now by modern machinery, yet still standing as proof of what humans could achieve without any of it.
Touch it. Feel the surface polished by human hands 4,500 years ago.
Perfect geometry, calculated by human minds, executed by human hands. The last wonder of the ancient world still standing. All others are gone, but this remains. We illuminate it now with electric lights, but it was built by people who worked by torchlight and sunlight alone. This is what humans built. No aliens, no lost technology, just people working together. Built by human hands, powered by human will. Wooden rollers, another simple tool, another brilliant human solution.